today's show, we're going to be playing a game of Cupidity, talking about if you had a 2 weeks vacation and unlimited budget, where you would go and what you would do, what upgrade you would make to the human body, and we also have a question from our new Box of Issues hotline. On today's show, you got me, your girl, Barbara Dunkelman, as well as...
Gavin.
We did it.
Robbie. Hi.
That was so cute. That's me. That's Mariel.
Robbie
here.
gave it full eyebrows there.
He did.
I always give it full eyebrows.
There's someone who's watching this right now that went, huh, ooh, and then became pregnant. So
That's dangerous. If there's one thing I would change about the human body, it would
Pregnancy through eyebrows.
make everything a lot
that'd be really
easier.
bad.
Well, thanks for joining us, Robbie.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
And Gavin,
Cheers.
I guess.
Yep.
It's, you visit us just as frequently as Robbie, I guess.
I'm only here because Robbie's on here. I just wanted to grit it up a little bit more.
The British have come.
I feel very out of place on this show.
Why?
I'm wearing like a blue shirt. You guys are all like cool and
Emo.
today.
Yeah, my wardrobe is black and blue, and that's it.
And that's it.
My color palette is very boring.
Yeah? I feel like you'd look good in a lot of colors, though. Why don't you
Yeah,
expand?
I don't know. I play it safe. I like jeans and a t-shirt.
You were in gray in Bloodfest. Really
Yeah,
outside
I
your
was.
comfort zone.
Yeah, that was my costume.
Yeah.
Until it
Gray.
was splattered with, spoiler alert, splattered with other stuff.
Like blood?
Blood.
Yeah, like blood. I guess it's not a spoiler, it's in the title. We can talk about that.
Urine, maybe. I want to make another
What
movie
film
called
are you?
Urine
What
Fest.
film are you filming?
You're in for a treat. That would be the tagline.
Okay.
Can we kick you off your own show? Are we allowed to do that?
Yes, actually, that's in the contract. All right, so we're going to kick things off with our new segment called Cheers to That, where we talk about some sweet, good stuff that's happening in our lives and the lives of people who watch the show, just because we like positivity and happiness. The world is a crazy, stupid place right now, so we could all use a bit of that. So we're going to read some from the audience first, and then if you guys have anything we want to talk about, we could do that as well. So this first one comes from Shelby B. It's a great name.
Shelby B.
Shelby B. And she writes, last week has made 7 years since I was diagnosed with cancer. I had turned 12 the week before being diagnosed, and now I'm 19 and getting stronger every day. It's been a tough road that won't end, but I still get up every day and try to do my best. So cheers to that.
Yay.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Congrats, Shelby.
Yeah,
Damn.
fantastic.
Must be a crazy ride.
Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Hope you're doing well. Getting through it. Can't even imagine that. And then this next one's from Mario O. We have some
Mario.
good names today. Mario
It's just
O.
the criteria. It's like the initial of your last name has to sound like the end of
Exactly.
Has to be your
Yep.
last syllable.
Exactly. But Mario writes, just left first appointment and my fiance is 13 weeks pregnant. Have a drink for her, future Rooster Teeth fan coming. And I think we have a picture
Yay, we have
of
a
the
Sonic. Look
Sonic.
at that.
Hey!
Your baby looks real cute. Where is it?
He's got your eyes.
It's got your nose and your eyes.
Gorgeous.
I always love looking at sonograms because you really can't tell what you're looking at until
Does anyone else feel like that
much
tech
closer in.
hasn't really moved on too much?
No, it has
Like,
not.
I'm pretty sure I look like that, and that was 30 years ago.
Yep. Cheers.
Oh, cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
When you read it, I thought that person said their fiance was 13. I was really disturbed for like
It's like, where do you
split
live?
second.
Here's a picture of the fiance.
Cheers to that.
13 weeks.
You guys are perfect for each other.
Yeah. I really love her mind and the way it thinks and her ability to just float there.
And the fact that she's kind of transparent right now.
Has no memories or thoughts or anything like that.
Oh.
Do you think you develop memories inside the womb?
I mean,
What would you remember?
Thinking, but you can't. I don't think you can remember.
This
it.
is what you would
I
remember.
mean, all you've ever seen was nothing,
Right.
and all you'd ever heard was like, and like muffled people.
Right. Yeah.
Not much to dream about.
Well, they have all these like myths and stuff about people being able to remember, not remember, but like the babies being affected by music they hear
Yeah.
or being spoken to.
I'm glad I don't remember that because I feel like it would be
Boring.
kind of boring.
Yeah.
Traumatizing.
Can you imagine just like chilling for 8 months, 9 months, just like, what do I do?
It'd be like an episode of Black Mirror.
I wonder.
You're just
how
trapped inside your
long-
own.
How long into it would you be miserable? I feel like after about 20
3
minutes.
You're more patient than me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I gotta get out of here. Just like start thumping. That's why you can hear the kicks and stuff. They're like, I need to get out.
Yeah, come on.
I'm so bored.
How long has it been? 20 minutes? Oh, 8 months? Cool.
Perception of time's a bit off.
Get me the fuck out of here. Well, cheers to that. I don't know if we cheers. We did. We
We
did.
can again. Why not?
But
Well, no,
I'm
because
already-
that's not fair on our first guest.
Babies.
All right.
Well, cheers to her
Cheers
too.
for the other one.
Why don't we just leave our drinks up here the entire episode?
Yes.
Pardon me.
Bloody hell.
That was good.
But what about you guys? We had a really crazy weekend that just happened.
Yeah.
RTX. There must have been some good stuff that came out of that.
No.
Gavin was there.
No.
Not a single thing.
There's a mariachi band there.
There was. That was actually probably, yeah, that was my thing.
I missed that.
Yeah.
A few months ago, so Meg Turney she's always had these like little surprises for me during RTX. The first time she like threw like a rave for our last free play panel, and then last year she made like a video of all of our little like clips together from free play. So I was like, I gotta get this bitch back this year, and I gotta do it big. And so we'd always talk about mariachis while we were filming, and Selena, and so I hired a mariachi band. But a few months ago, I had tweeted about it and was like, I need to find a mariachi band in Austin. Like, let me know if anyone
Well,
knows.
it's the easiest
anything.
way of finding anything.
Yeah. And she'd actually tweeted back, and she was like, oh my gosh. She said something like, I hope you bring them to RTX. And I was like, oh, haha, no, it's for a family thing. But I was like, fuck, no, it's not. So I found this really sweet band here in Austin, and they were super willing, and they like charged me basically nothing to do it. And the best part of it was when I brought them into the convention center, they had no idea who the fuck I was. They had no idea what the fuck RTX was.
They just knew they were hired for a
So they were
gig.
like, yeah, we're just gonna come do this like quick gig real quick. And so I bring them in, and I'm standing with them like right, in like the hallways of the convention center, and so many people just start coming up to me and like talking to me and like asking for pictures and autographs and stuff. And they at one point, like, one of the girls looks at me and she's like, I'm sorry, but who are you? And I was like, oh, like it's hard to explain. She was like, are you famous? I feel bad I don't know who you are. And I was like, no, you
No,
should.
that's when you go, you should feel bad. I'm offended.
Did anybody come up to the band and like think that they were cosplaying as someone? But they're like,
well-
oh, I love your outfit. Can I get a picture with you?
Well, they were like, they saw me with them, so they knew that I had something planned. But it was just so funny because one of the girls was straight up like, I have no idea who the fuck you are.
I
and
was
I'm
so
sorry."
confused because there's like a little green room that we had at the event.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I turn around and Meryl is there with a whole mariachi band. And they're like tuning their instruments. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on? And I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
there's people in there like getting massages, and they're like lightly playing and tuning their guitars, and I was like,
Ding, 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 ding.
but yeah, then we went into, and it was even more perfect because Meg wanted to surprise everyone with like a little free play reunion during her panel. Ryan couldn't make it, so Gavin stepped in for Ryan.
Classic Ryan replacement.
So she was like, okay, just like hide in the back and like let me know when you get here, because I told her I was gonna be a few minutes late to her panel. And so she had no idea that I was showing up with my band. So I walk in and I open the door, and she's like, oh, Mariel, you're here. Like, oh, we want to do this thing. And I was like, hey, wait. Like, I brought some friends. She's like, oh, yeah, you brought some friends, thinking I met Tyler and Gavin. And I was like, she was like, okay, bring them out. And I was like, all right, I'll be right back. And so I come and grab the band, and they start playing as they're walking in. She's like, oh my God.
How did you get them all in? Did you have to get them passes and stuff?
Yeah. So I like coordinated with the events team
Okay.
and then like the security team too. And I was like,
Isn't it
listen,
funny
guys,
at this company how much correspondence goes into stupid jobs?
stupid
Like,
shit.
I need to make this official here. I
Yeah.
need to make sure that's all
Yeah.
right. Go.
Yeah,
I
I
would
had
laugh
to
so
clear
hard
it
if
with
you
the
had to
security team and
buy
I had
the
to clear it
passes.
with the events team.
Yeah.
I'm out $300.
I know, right? You guys better fucking play well.
Yeah, how much were the passes for this weekend?
I don't know. I think they're like $90 or something. 80
3
$90
days?
for the weekend pass.
I think
That's
it
pretty
was
good.
more than that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Oh, maybe it was $100. But like for any convention, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
great
days.
value. 3 days. It's over, so I don't know why I'm like talking it up. But no, it was a really fun weekend.
Yeah.
But cheers to your mariachi band.
Cheers to that, and hopefully Meg got a good kick out of it. I think
She
did.
bloody loved it.
Yeah. And then she gave me Megxis, I've been calling it, the Snatch Jesus, a beautiful picture of her as Jesus, and I lost it.
The hotel called Creepy.
Yeah,
Saw your
creepy
Instagram
Jesus
story.
picture. And I was like,
Did you
fuck
just
guys.
immediately lose it? Just left
Yeah,
it?
pretty much. Well, I checked out of my hotel on Sunday, and I got home, and I woke up Monday morning, and I was like, I'm gonna go put it up on my wall, and then I couldn't find it, and I was devastated. But then
Yeah.
I realized that the hotel probably had it, and they did not like it. They were happy to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was probably cursing the entire
I
hotel.
know. Yeah.
Let's be real.
I put it up, and I was like, I think I can only leave it up here for at least 24 hours because it feels a little sacrilegious.
Well, something else we should
my
probably
cheers.
talk about. One of the reasons Robbie came to RTX. Well, probably like the main reason, I would guess.
No, I
Just
kind of just came for this podcast. And
You
Yeah.
wanted to meet Gavin.
It just happened to be
Again.
RTX.
Again.
Yeah.
Met like 7 times now.
Yeah.
We had our movie show.
Yeah.
Bloodfest at RTX.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We had an amazing crowd.
Yeah.
Was it Paramount Theatre?
Paramount Theater, which holds, I think it was about 1,200 or 1,300 people, and it was sold out. which
Yeah.
was
Bloody
insane.
fun one to watch with people, that one, isn't it?
Yeah,
literally,
it's one of those films that I think excels in the cinema for sure. And obviously, I mean, I say obviously, you never know how crowds are going to react. And I like to think that it was always going to go down fairly well with the Rooster Teeth community, just because, you know, I think that the guys did a really good job of, you know, turning it into a finished product, and there's plenty of little Easter eggs in there for the fans and stuff. But you know, it still had to be good, and they still had to like it, and the response was unreal.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to a fan on the floor, I think on Sunday, on the convention floor. She wasn't just like on the floor, and I was like, "Hey, are you okay?"
She was passed out.
Just interviewing her.
Yeah, it's like, what do you need? She was like, the film is great. She was like, oh, we had no idea that you were going to come out for a Q&A afterwards. She didn't know that there was a Q&A. And so she said when we all walked out on the stage at the end, she was like, she was, yeah, because she, you know, when you watch someone for an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever on a screen, and then suddenly you see them in real life in any capacity, it's quite bizarre. It's quite weird. So, yeah, we had an amazing response, and yeah, I didn't bump into one person that didn't like it.
It was crazy. It was better than I could have ever hoped for. Because we had premiered the movie before at South by Southwest a couple months ago. And like the response was good, but it's also like these people are here for South by Southwest. They're not necessarily Rooster Teeth fans. They're just here to watch movies, and you never know how the response is going to be. But for this one, I was more nervous than anything, because I was like, these are
People you have
this
to
is our
impress.
community. These, like, I really want them to like this movie.
And it was your first feature film as well, wasn't it?
My first feature film. So seeing like them cheer when my name came up, and like when I first appeared on camera, I was like, oh my God.
Were your parents there?
Parents were there. And my parents hate scary movies. So does my little brother, and he came as well. So they did it for me. It was nice.
But it's not like, oh, well,
It's
we
not.
can't
It's
get
not
into it,
too
but
scary.
yeah.
It's a horror comedy.
It's fun.
So
There are definitely some like moments and jump scares. Even like we've made the movie, and I still was like, oh my God, like based on the edit, you know, sometimes things really jump out at you, or you just like forget that it happened.
Yeah.
But no, that was great. I'm really glad I was able to come down this weekend and experience RTX, because I've done other conventions in the past for you know, stuff sort of relating to like Once Upon a Time and Heroes Reborn and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool to come here sort of just as like a chill guest, and you know, do my thing and do a panel and just sort of take it all in.
And get to meet the community more and interact with them. I think that's really cool.
It's a different crowd for sure. But I found it really awesome that I think one of the coolest things about conventions for me is the fans meet each other on the online space and on the forum, and then they meet each other in real life. So a lot of times they're like, oh, I just met my friend. I've known her for 5 years, but this is the first time that we've actually met, and they both just look so happy.
I know.
Sometimes they get
meet,
married
you know.
and have babies too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Did you tell, or I don't know if I told you, but my brother and his girlfriend, who he met through Rooster Teeth, they just got engaged this past month. Yeah.
Cheers to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, cheers to everything.
Yes.
Bloodfest premiering. All that jazz.
Mariachis.
Mariachis.
Babies.
All right, well, let's move on to Cupidity. This is a game we play where we ask each of our guests a bunch of questions within 25 seconds, and they have to answer them as quickly as possible. We get these questions from OkCupid, the popular dating site, which I don't even know if it's that popular
I
anymore.
don't know, but they should sponsor this show for as much as we mention them.
I know, it's true. We should start doing something with Tinder or something. All right, Gavin, you want to go first?
Oh shit. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have our timer ready? We do.
Is it like just speed answers?
Whatever
fast
you
I
want.
can?
Whatever you want. As fast as you can, or just, you could elaborate if you'd like.
Okay.
All right, ready? And go. Has anyone ever told you you are intimidating?
Yes.
Would you ever consider taking a vow of silence for a month?
Sure.
Of the following, who do you most often go to advice for? A friend, family member, professional, or no one?
Coworker. Was that on there?
No.
Friend.
Is that one?
How often do creative thoughts keep you from sleeping?
Every damn night, and they're not even good.
Do you think it's important to challenge typical gender roles in dating?
Is that like a I've started so I'll finish kind of thing?
Yeah,
What was it? I wasn't listening.
Do you think it's important to challenge typical gender roles in dating?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
Cool.
Those are great. So what creative thoughts keep you up?
Just absolute gash. Like nonsense.
Absolutely.
Like I'm trying to invent something stupid, or I had an idea that's shit in the morning, but
I feel like a lot of it probably has to do with your channel. Coming
Things
up
you
with
can
ideas
do
for
in
that.
slow-mo.
Yeah, because it's such a generic channel. It's like whatever you can think of in slow-mo. There's not really any rules to it other than that.
Do
So.
you ever dream in slow-mo?
Yeah, no, I've had
What are
dreams
you
where
trying to get out of this?
I don't know.
Do you dream of
I've had
people?
dreams where I can't
When you dream,
run fast, and I'm
Oh.
in slow-mo.
like you're in a
and I
quicksand or
get
something.
eaten or something.
I
No,
had
it's like-
I had the worst a couple of years ago. I remember this so well because I felt the pain. I felt like I got stung by a bee and then another one and another one. And I was getting like constantly
In that
stung
same
by
spot?
bees. And I couldn't move and it was like the
shit.
worst thing in the world. And I felt the pain and I woke up and it was one of those moments where I was like,
you like grabbing your arm while
Yeah,
you've been
did
yeah, I was like, oh my God.
Look all over yourself.
Yeah, it was terrifying. And I didn't sleep for the next 3 weeks because I didn't want to get
I feel
stung
like
by
a lot
fake
of
bees.
a lot of the time my dreams
But
are-
real bees, totally fine.
my
Always
dreams
cool.
are often realistic. Like they're not as fantasy, but they always start like right after I've killed someone. I'm like,
What have I done?
Yeah, I'm like I've got a body to hide, and then like everyone's looking for me. I'm like, and I don't ever remember why or how I killed the person, but I'm just lumped with a corpse.
Do you have a
that
lot
I
of
know-
like anger issues deep down or something?
No, I don't think it's anger. I think it's like fear-based.
Oh. Fear that you're gonna kill someone accidentally?
No.
I know that's why you didn't want to learn how to drive originally. You were like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill someone.
That's more selfish. Like I don't want to be deported, and I might be if I kill someone.
You might be.
Hopefully not.
All right, Robbie,
Okay, this is speedrun, yeah?
you are up. Yes. I mean, it's the
Now it's
same.
not a competition, but I did get I think 4.
4?
He did get 4.
Everything's a competition, Gavin.
It's also swayed by how fast I could read the question, and sometimes I fuck it up. So
Okay.
I apologize.
Sometimes
for-
they're worded
So
a
it's
little
rigged.
interestingly.
Exactly. I'll read it really slow. All right, and go. Are you a good liar?
No.
How often do you try things like food, activities, music, whatever, that you've never tried before?
All the time?
On your days off, do you like to get out and make the most of the day, or do you prefer to sleep late and relax?
Both?
What's your Hogwarts house?
Slytherin.
Oh, nice. Do you think a person's musical preferences are a good indicator of intelligence?
Not really.
Are you more of your own biggest fan or your own toughest critic?
Toughest critic?
Your toughest critic?
Yeah.
I like that with the
I
way
don't.
you answered. You almost seemed annoyed at some of the.
Sorry, that's no. I'm happy to be here. I promise. I think that's just my British intonation. I think a lot of people assume that I'm being sarcastic or
Yeah.
just based on how I'm talking, and I'm like, no, I'm not being sarcastic. I promise.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you're doing it again. You're being you're by
I'm
saying
not
That's like
being
my-
sarcastic.
and I'm like digging a hole.
My
so-
entire relationship with Meg is that where I'm just like flat and dry, and she's like, "Why are you being a dick?" I was like, "Oh no, I really
No, I'm
mean it. The
being
words
serious,
were
yeah.
legit."
I do care about you. I do. I really do.
I feel, yeah, you complain, not complain, you mention that a lot, how in the States people think you're just being a dick. And you're like, no, I'm
Yeah.
just British.
I think what I do is I don't ease people into it, especially with people I don't know very well.
Well, if
It's
you're
like-
a-
I'm
it's
British.
But it's like even worse is over email, where
Like you have to come out as British.
I should like have it in my signature.
A warning.
We
think
should,
it was-
we should be like a rescue dog where we have like a massive like bib on that says I'm the Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't pet.
I
Stand
think it was
back.
I think it was Chelsea Atkinson once who booked me a flight. She like booked me a flight on Southwest, and I was like, well, I was like, I didn't fly American, so I'll just do that. But instead, I wrote this really, what I thought was like a cheeky email. I was like, I'd rather slit my own throat than fly Southwest. And I sent it, and I was like, I don't know her well enough to send emails like that.
Gavin,
But it was like
Gavin,
super
we're
cheeky.
sponsored by Southwest.
Shit.
You probably went home that night and was just like, oh my God, I fucked up so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then too much time passed, and now if I was like, hey, sorry about that email 4 years ago, I really didn't mean it.
4 years
you,
ago.
you never,
Sorry.
you never
Stuck with
said
it.
sorry about that.
He's been
I think
busy.
for a long time I didn't know where she sat.
British.
So you couldn't just respond back. Like, hey, sorry about that. It's fine.
Well, then there was like me like going back and forth. I was like, what are the chances she was actually offended by it? And then too much time had passed.
I
So,
think,
sorry,
I think
Chelsea.
for the most part, a lot of people know you well here and understand your sense of
I feel like they do now more, but that was, it was early days.
It's true.
There's always that transition period here.
Yeah.
Also, I agree with you. I fucking hate Southwest. And I would also.
Fuck y'all.
I don't think
Okay.
I've ever.
All right, you
Oh, yeah,
elitists.
Meryl
Southwest is all right.
I hate not having a seat. I
You-
hate it. It
are you
stresses
a-
me out.
All of the seats are your seats.
It's like anxiety airline.
Yeah.
I've
Let me
never
get
flown
Cameron
Southwest.
Malone up here.
Southwest is
A
a
budget airline.
no.
No!
It's fine. It's a
It's
good
comfortable
airline.
it's like EasyJet.
So it's a budget
Yeah.
airline.
But it's great for going to Vegas from Austin.
There's a lot of good
Okay.
directs, but the thing with Southwest is that you never have assigned seats. it's like boarding group numbers that you get on
I'm not sure
with.
about that.
I just like being able to just show up at the gate and know that like
Yeah.
my seat's there, no one's gonna take it, like all that jazz. I hate rushing. And,
Well, I'd feel like I'd need to get in the line like 45 minutes before we start boarding.
I mean, you have
to,
like,
like,
a
get a
group-
decent
you ha-
seat.
like if you like, let's say you're A23, so there's like 23 people ahead of you essentially.
Did
Like,
you
everyone
not say A24 because you didn't want to mention the production company A24?
They're not sponsoring the
didn't
show,
even
so we
think about that, to be honest.
I fly
mean, yes.
Southwest mostly because it's cheaper to fly Southwest to see my parents than it is to fly any other airline.
Yeah,
It's
See,
like
that makes sense.
$600
Yeah.
to see my parents with any other airline.
There's also no ability to really upgrade there, right? There's no like.
I
business
mean, there's no
class?
like first class or business class. You can get that in terms of. See, this isn't the fucking podcast. Why are we talking about flying?
I know.
But yeah. So we can't. Yeah.
Gavin has that effect on us.
Yeah.
Just start talking about flying. All right, Meryl,
Let's do it.
you're up.
Go.
Good to go?
Do it.
And go. If you were driving and suddenly noticed that the car behind you was a police car, how would you feel?
Nervous.
Is it easy to love or to hate? Easier to love or hate?
Easy to hate.
Do you leave the lights on after leaving a room when they are no longer necessary?
No, I turn them all off.
How are your teeth?
I would say pretty great. I go to the dentist quite often.
Which one of these comic book archetypes do you most closely identify with? Superhero, vigilante, sidekick, or villain? I think this is the longest you've ever taken for a question.
Explain to me.
Come on, it's the speed round.
Explain to
Superhero.
me vigilante. Exactly. That's just like a person who's
I think it's
just
just like
going
a-
out and you're trying to do good, but you're not really like.
I think like it's just like a citizen who's trying to.
Yeah, like
do
you're not the
good.
law, but you're doing.
Yeah,
you're
you're-
fighting the man, and you're fighting the bad
That's,
people.
that's what I identify.
You'd be that.
I think so. I'm not quite a superhero.
I'd
I
be the
try
villain.
and do good.
I'd be the villain. Just because it's more fun. I think being a villain would be way
Probably
more fun.
easier too. Less
Yeah.
tough
Just
decisions.
fuck shit up. You don't have to like fix it.
Just
don't
feel bad
key a
about it.
car.
Ooh.
Ooh, bad boy.
Dangerous. Wait, what? I wanted to. Oh,
What's the last one? Yeah.
you think it's easier to hate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to hate. It's
Yeah.
not better to hate, but it's definitely easier.
It's easier. You don't have to get to know people. You know.
I guess love is a pretty intense feeling.
Yeah.
I guess it's like if it's easier to like or hate. Like, I like a lot of things. I like most things.
I think it's
Yeah.
hard to hate for an extended period though.
It's just like so
sure.
much work.
But like
Keep a
for
grudge
the
going?
immediate, like, you know, if like somebody like ruins a drinks order and gets it wrong, you're like, I hate you. But like only for a little bit, you know.
I like how Texas
Okay.
isn't even paying.
He knows he's not getting it, so
That's all he hears.
he's done it. He's given up.
British.
I just heard a lot.
Okay. Are we good to go for Barbara's questions? We're good. And go for it. Would you cosplay at Comic-Con?
Hell yeah.
Would you rather be omnipotent, all-powerful, or omniscient, all-knowing?
All knowing.
Which of the following do you most look forward to as you get older? More privileges, more experiences, more money, or better health?
More experiences.
If your partner needed lovemaking to always be gentle, would you be fine with this?
Yeah.
I don't think you would. What was the duration of your longest close friendship?
Oh.
It's like, what's the longest friendship?
I
you've
guess
ever
about
had?
20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that like ongoing?
I guess so.
Kind of sounds like it's like
The longest.
past
friendship.
tense. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I've known Gavin since I was 15. So that's 14 years.
It's a really long time.
They're
You're
long-
one
it's
of
a
my
long
oldest
friendship.
friends.
Yeah, we
Because my friendships with most of the people I was long friends with ended when I left the country they live in.
Yeah.
So they all kind of stopped dead.
And we
yours
were still pretty
continued.
good friends before we lived in the same
Yeah.
country.
How long have you and Dan known each other?
Dan's one of my oldest now because he keeps coming over here.
You couldn't leave him behind.
I've known
That's
him.
right.
I've known Barbara longer than I've known Dan.
Oh, really? Holy shit.
Really?
I mean, I've known of Dan, but we didn't become friends until I was like 18.
Get fucked, Dan.
Yeah, I get
Holy
fucked.
shit.
I guess, well, now we know. You
Get
slow-mo
fucked
guys.
only
used to-
gently.
Yeah.
room.
I had to ask that question to you. I had to ask a similar question to you in front of your parents.
Yeah, on
Which
the
was not okay for me.
the RTX Always Open episode we did at the show this weekend, we were doing this game, and Meryl had to ask me if I preferred rough
or gentle
or
sex.
gentle sex, and my parents were literally sitting front row center next
Right
to
by
Trevor.
Trevor.
And I was like, huh.
How do I do
No
this?
sex at all. We don't touch each other.
What was your answer?
I said a little bit of both.
And then he was like,
Yeah. Well, then he went like this. He covered my,
Just
my
imagine,
mom's eyes.
just imagine your dad in the front row. He's just like, and then his eyes starts twitching.
Wait,
Right next to-
wait. He covered your mum's eyes, but not her ears.
Yeah, I know.
Look away! Damage is already been done.
I can't hear anything now. Yeah, they were right there. I felt a little bad for my dad. He's just like, that's my girl. That's my girl.
You put them through it. You really
Like,
did.
real proud of you, Barb.
They were so proud.
Yes, they are.
You know what I'm proud about?
What are you proud of?
The fact that I have such a nice collection of watches and sunglasses.
Yeah, you do.
From Movement.
Tell us
Great segue.
more.
This episode of Always Open is brought to you by Movement. You guys have heard, it says here in the copy, you guys has heard me talk about Movement. You know those two college dropouts that started their own watch company? This company has grown like crazy, and now with almost 2 million watches sold in 160 countries, they continue to revolutionize fashion on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. Movement has come far from being crowdfunded kids working out of a living room. In the past year, they've not only introduced a ton of new watch collections, for both men and women, but also expanded to sunglasses and fashion-forward bracelets for her. I have probably, I think, 7 or 8 Movement watches at this point, one for each outfit. I have sunglasses that I wore this weekend at RTX. Got a lot of compliments on them. Got to tell people that they were Movement, and I was very excited. And they were like, I'm going to go pick some up.
Yep.
And now you can, because we got a special offer for our audience. Movement watches start at just $95. At department stores, you're looking at $400 to $500. Movement watches offers classic design with quality construction and styled minimalism. And you guys can get 50% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com/open. See why Movement keeps growing. Check out their expanding collection. Go to mvmt.com/open and join the movement.
Join it.
I
Do
like
it.
to movement.
Did they have a booth at RTX?
I don't think they did. They
did.
should.
Pretty good deal. Let's check that out.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
And they only start at $95.
That's great.
It's a pretty great deal. All right. So the first question of the day/evening or whatever time you're watching this.
Those other
podcast.
ones didn't count.
No. This question is from Penny A. And Penny A asks, if you had 2 weeks free and an unlimited budget, where would you go and what would you do?
I feel like, all right, are we doing this? Are we doing the whole like 3 wishes thing where, is there a way to sort of navigate around this question to make yourself more money or? Because what I would do, if you had unlimited money, you just go to Vegas, put like $1 million on red, and if you don't win, you have unlimited money. So you put $1 million on red, and if you don't win, you have unlimited money. So you put $1 million, and then I don't know.
I hope you're paying tax on that, Robbie.
Oh.
What's tax?
Radar.
You pay tax? No, I feel like, joking aside, I think it'd be kind of cool to just sort of chill on a yacht for 2 weeks
That'd be awesome.
and like go to the Med, like go to the Italian Riviera.
Do you think you would bring
French
people
Riviera.
with you, or would it be like, would you want to do this solo?
Yeah, I feel like
Like you don't even
same thing. It's the same thing with like the womb issue. You just get bored, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's true.
If you're by yourself. Also,
Well,
who's
I like alone time,
who's
though.
gonna captain the ship? This is great, but like
You're there just on the yacht with an empty glass. Like,
it's like a 120-foot yacht, and I'm running around to the engine room and to the.
Okay, but think, like even for a day, that'd be pretty cool. Like having a whole yacht to yourself.
Yeah, as long as
Just
you
be
don't crash
naked.
it, that would be great. That would be awesome.
Get a nice tan on like all your body parts.
Yeah.
Ooh, even the taint. Your taint. Have you ever been on a yacht?
you don't need to tan a taint.
What?
What?
Barbara has a taint.
Yeah, but you don't have to. How do you tan it? You're just like sitting like upside down with your legs.
You're
up.
on your own. No one's there.
How much light is ever on your taint to the point where someone could admire the skin tone?
Just
And
a
it's-
question, Gavin. It's just a question. We're
Sorry.
talking hypotheticals here.
Are we? I'm
If
doing
I
the opposite.
had unlimited bunts, I would do Antarctica because it's really expensive to go there.
Is it?
It's like 50 G's to go there.
Like by.
It's
Which-
like
By
you gotta
yacht.
go on a, you got to go on a boat, and I think there's a helicopter on some of it,
Probably.
and it's just so inaccessible.
I guess it
And
is.
you could die.
You could die anywhere, really.
Yeah, but
think
you're
about
pretty
it.
likely to die if you go in the winter.
Sounds relaxing.
So why would you want to go somewhere that you could die?
I feel like it's like one of the places that the fewest people have been on our planet.
But you would just travel there for 2 weeks. How long would you stay there?
I'd probably fart about for a week. I think it takes a long time to get there too.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like a cool icebreaker. When you're like, yeah, I've been on that continent. Bet you haven't.
Yeah, because everyone's like, I've traveled all 6 continents.
Honestly,
but they've never been to
the
Antarctica.
original answer I wanted to give was I wanted to go nowhere and just sit in my underwear for 2 weeks and play video
Sit
games,
home.
but that's kind of sad and boring.
Well,
Oh, you said it now.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Well,
though.
yeah, I mean, you guys travel so often that I'm assuming you could, if you wanted to just do nothing.
There is nothing I like more than just having like a weekend where it's just me. I have nothing to do. Everyone is out of town. I don't have to see anybody.
Poor Trevor.
I like seeing Trevor too. But it's not like, obviously I'm someone who really likes my alone time, and like
Yeah, that's true.
that's how I like refresh myself. Essentially, is like not having even conversations with people. Like I don't talk to my family. I don't talk to anybody. Like I'll text people every now and then, but especially after RTX where you're just constantly talking for like 3-4 days, it's nice to do that to kind of like turn off.
So is that your answer?
No. Because it's like if I had 2 weeks off and like the budget thing wasn't a thing, then maybe I would just stay home. But the unlimited budget makes me think like I would spend 1 week somewhere like insanely cool tropical type thing, like one of those resorts where you could like have that glass bottom thing in your room. You guys seen that?
Yeah.
And like you're basically on the ocean, like it's like those little huts that are there. I would do that for a week, and then the other week I'd probably go somewhere in Europe, like Paris or something like that, and just bunce around, or whatever you said.
Fart around.
Fart around.
Far around. Bunce is money.
Bunce is money.
Well, you could money around if you had unlimited.
It's true.
You could do anything.
But I would just do everything, like buy the most expensive meals and go on like the crazy tours.
Stay in like a 7-star hotel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like just chill out.
Yeah, like the presidential suite of a 7-star hotel. Like
Is that
whatever it
is there more? There's more. Is that a thing? 7 stars?
Yeah, there's like a
think
few
it's-
in the world that are
The one in Dubai 7.
Yeah,
I mean, it's whatever they say, really.
They're like the Curve building,
Yeah.
right on the coast.
What?
think
7 out of
7
what? 7?
7
11.
out
I
of
think
5.
7 out of 5.
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so good that it's not even like a typical star
Off
rating.
the charts.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
It's kind of more like self-proclaimed, I feel like. Or maybe there is an official rating, I don't know, but you would think that maybe it's like, oh yeah, no, we're not even 6 stars, we're 7. Like we've skipped a star.
Yeah,
Can we start saying that we're a 7-star entertainment company?
You could.
I think so. I think that should be our new slogan.
Yeah. Right. You're welcome,
Yeah.
Eric. I was trying to think of like. who
Oh,
would
marketing
come up
Eric.
with- Yeah.
I thought you meant our producer Eric.
You're welcome.
You're
Hador.
welcome.
Get
He's,
fucked.
he's like, I don't know what the
You're welcome. I was thinking the same, but I would go to Thailand because it's so cheap already,
Oh wow.
and then I would find 8-star hotels there.
Get
So
fucked
wait,
up.
with unlimited money, you would go somewhere cheap.
Super cheap because it's already.
But her money would stretch really far.
You would go even.
Yeah, but unlimited
unlimited.
stretches infinitely.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's like, I'm saving a lot of money doing this.
Then I would import all the things I liked about Thailand back to the U.S.
Ooh, okay.
Like
Ah,
elephants
smart.
and rice fields.
How long would it take to ride an elephant from like one
To Thailand,
Depends on the
to
distance.
the U.S.
you have to go across water?
You had to put it on a yacht.
They can't, I don't
Yeah.
think they can swim across the Pacific, Barbara.
Here's what you do.
You put it
get
on a
your,
yacht?
get your yacht.
You can tow an
You
elephant.
put your elephant on the yacht.
Just chilling on like, it's chilling on like skis, like water skis.
It's just got its head underwater, but its trunk is up. It's like,
Now I like traveling with my parents a lot. We've been going on a lot of trips lately because I'm like a single, not married, have no children, kid in my family.
You like traveling with your
I
family?
love traveling with my
are
family.
you yourself around your parents?
Am
Or
I
do you have to put up like a
Oh,
in front of my parents' front?
a little bit, but not like for the most part, yeah. I don't know. I try and see them pretty often, but I would take 1 week to do whatever my mom wanted. She'd probably want to go to Europe. My dad would probably want to go on like an African Sahara visit. But he's a hunter, but I would not let him kill any animals. I don't think he would want to either. He doesn't see.
I mean, you can kill animals if they're not endangered, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
trophy
good
hunter.
too with like population control. I know it can be an issue in Scotland sometimes.
Yeah.
With like deer just shagging out of control.
Isn't it the same as a kangaroo in Australia? How like they're basically as plentiful as deer is in the U.S.
oh really?
Like, and it's just roadkill there.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
so sad.
And I feel like white rhinos, they should go down. Who needs them?
You want to exterminate white rhinos? No.
People
Why
think
white
I'm an
Rhino?
asshole for some reason. It's because I'm British. No other reason.
No, I'm super against trophy hunting. I think.
Yeah, it's just our excuse to get away with saying whatever we want. It's like, no, it's just because I'm English. But yeah, we should exterminate the right rhinos.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I feel safer because Robbie's here. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, we're not a good influence on each other.
Did you say what? So is just staying home your answer?
No, I pick Antarctica because
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be a boring bastard.
Okay, that's where you'd go. Well, guess what? Because we have unlimited budget right now. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That's the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
We're in Antarctica right now.
Burr.
Ooh, yeah, the room's really cold.
Did I fool you on that one?
What is Antarctica really shaped like? I'm sorry you just opened your menu, but now I just
Well, I
see it
actually
as
have a picture of it
the
right
strip
here.
of bottom on a map.
I can
which is
draw
not
it. I
true,
can draw
right?
it for you.
Okay.
Bring it.
No, it's not straight. It's just
Do you
a,
have a pen?
What's like because every time I've ever seen it on a map, it's always like a flat map, right? And it's just at the bottom.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
like
it's just like it's one of these.
Right.
yeah, it's like
On
it's
the
it's
underneath.
fairly like spherical, like it's kind of like a circle, but then there's a little offshoot towards South America, where
used
there's
to
a
be
bit of
attached.
landmass that sort of goes up, like a little tail almost. And then on the side there's a lot of like glaciers. In fact, I think it was last year, a huge chunk of Antarctica, the size of Wales, an iceberg cracked.
You said whales, and I thought, oh, whale. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
The size of a whale.
Wow.
It was big. It was a slow day in the news.
It just goes. Ding.
The size of Wales left that little peninsula and just started, floating away from the landmass, and everyone was like,
New
"We're all
Wales.
gonna die, global warming."
It was called.
That's what it's called. New Wales. New whale. His name is Willie. Why is it so like not visited very often? Like why is it so expensive and why does it...
Do you have it on the weather app? It's really cold.
I know it's really cold, but like
It also is so far down that most of the year there's no day.
that's true.
It
like
can't
nighttime.
sustain life. It's ages away from.
You got emperor penguins,
civilization.
though.
It's
But do people this is a dumb question, do people live there?
Yeah, there's like
must be
scientists.
Scientists, right?
yeah, there's
research.
facilities.
So there must be businesses or like some place to get
Well, I
food?
think it's all.
Is there a Burger King in Antarctica?
It's kind of.
Is there McDonald's?
I think it's kind of like on oil rigs. Like everything is self-provided by the company that's setting up shop there, or the government. Like they'll have cooks down there and
Gotcha.
various different like they'll have cafeterias, but there won't be.
God.
There's not like an In-N-Out in Antarctica and like a drive-through that all of the guys just hang out at.
Yeah.
I don't think. Maybe there is.
It's just
know.
Antarctica, right? Is there
Like a city?
yeah, is
There-
it countries?
there-
Is there,
It's a
There's-
continent with.
There's research stations,
Territories.
and also it's it's split up into the territories are split up into like which country owns what. So
Yeah.
there's a segment that's owned by Russia, a segment that's owned by the UK. The United
I think it's one of the
States,
few
a
places
few other countries.
where if you're born there, you're not a citizen of there. You're a citizen of the parent countries only.
Yeah.
But not. There's no.
I don't think it's
Antarctican
an official
passport.
country. Yeah.
I can't
it's
think of
not
a
like
place I'd
flag.
less want to have a baby. than Antarctica. Like, imagine you're going into labor just like, on an oil
freezing your
rig.
tits off?
So
Cool.
let's cover the Antarctica portion of.
Yep, you did. You know a surprising amount about Antarctica.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Well, I actually lived there for 4 years.
You're a scientist?
He did a movie there.
Why is everyone laughing? No, I didn't. I wish I did though.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't.
I called your bluff. All right, well, the next question we have before we move on. Actually, no, this is moving on. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're moving on to the next question. This one is submitted by Logan B. And Logan B, this is a very Gavin question, which is why I picked it. If you can make an update to the human body, what feature would you include?
I feel like I mentioned this the other day. I want a feature where I know I'm about to be in air conditioning. But no, I do know. I should start by saying I do know.
Is
Like
this-
if I walk.
Is this because of the hotel a few days ago?
No, this is because it's hot as anus here, and I know that if I walk from stage 3 or stage 4 to stage 5, I'm gonna be in the hot for like a minute. But my body's like, oh, he's in the hot. He's not getting colder. Let's start sweating like an animal. And then I'll get inside and I'll be like just still sweating for like 4 minutes. And it's like, I wish I could just turn that off because I myself know that I'll make myself safe.
Right.
You wish you could
In like 1 minute.
literally tell your body to chill.
Yeah, or don't chill.
chill out.
Just stay hot for a bit.
Yeah.
I'll chill myself.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be wicked.
I like how there's so many things you could choose from of like things to make your life better or like humans better in general. And it's just like, nah, I just don't want to sweat for like a few minutes.
It's annoying if it's like 10 in the morning and I'm just clammy. I hate it.
Yeah, that was. This is not a joke. I actually did live in Texas for 4 years.
Yeah.
And
in,
Houston.
Houston,
Yeah,
yeah.
And it was just unbelievably hot. And coming from England, you know, we have a fairly, you know, normal climate. Like it's warm in the summer and it's hot warm in the summer and it's
cold
in the winter.
Yeah.
Sorry, look, my time in Antarctica is just really skewed.
Yeah. What is cold? Really?
Yeah. So coming here, it was like 10 months out of the year, it's just you sweat your balls off as soon as you walk outside.
Oh, tell me. About it.
So it's very nice for me to come back to Austin and to remind me of what it was like. Because I actually don't mind it. I really like the warm.
Yeah,
I
I do
really,
too.
really do.
I'm the same way. I'm from Canada, and so like, I guess it's like I'm constantly comparing like 6 to 8 months of just cold disgustingness versus like 4 or 5 months of heat, which I much prefer because I like swimming. I like being outdoors and stuff, and you just can't be outside when it's that cold.
Yeah, it's really annoying if you feel like having a pool day or walking out, but it's tipping it down with rain.
Yep.
Having said that though, I don't know about you. I mean, I guess it rains here a little bit more because of storms in the summer and stuff. But in LA, it never rains. And
Yeah.
as nice as it is to be like, oh, it's sunny every day, it's kind of crazy to complain about that. But it is really nice to have a rainy day every once in a while.
Just have weather.
Yeah, Meg says the same because she lived in LA for ages. And she was like, I'm so sick of sun. I was like, how can you say that? But
I know.
Yeah, it's
I guess if
weird.
you'd never have anything different, you're just like,
You would
Just
talk
no
about
variety.
You would talk about it often, especially like the first couple years that we moved here. You would talk about all the time about how like you loved the heat and like going swimming and how like you would never have this weather back home, and how much you loved it. And I was the same way.
yeah.
My answer is a little different.
What is it?
I thought of a few things, and it's probably cheating because the answer is only one question. But I would have an on-off switch for sleep. So just like if you want to sleep now,
That's a great answer.
Wicked. Why
Turn
did I
off.
say that?
Who would turn you back on though?
or a timer, or like something, I don't know, like some setting that you
You like can turn yourself off.
turn yourself off
You
and
can
on.
turn yourself on.
But I would also have an on-off switch for fertility. So like, fuck birth control pills and condoms and all this shit. Just like, I'm no longer able to get pregnant. Off. And then if you ever
But
change
it's
your
like
mind-
you're kind of like making it seem like it's a light switch on your arm.
Yeah.
It's like a
Imagine-
huge like.
Can you imagine if you're having sex and all of a sudden when he's about to come, like accidentally hits the
Accidentally turns
switch
it
and like,
on.
no!
Well, that's your fault for liking it so
Yeah.
rough. He would probably get a better grip on the switch.
Also, why didn't you just flip the switch before you started? I'm gonna wait till the last minute.
Or if you're feeling like really like taking a gamble, you could just be like throw it out. What will it
What's
be?
it gonna be? And the other one that I would want to include in the human body or brain, I guess it would be, is because I have such an issue with remembering details of conversations or like memories that happen to me, which is why like sometimes when I'm telling a story, I forget details or I kind of like just gloss over a lot of stuff. I wish there was an ability to like have, and I know technically you do with a brain, but like an actual hard drive in your body that stores all your
That's some
memories.
Black Mirror shit.
All your memories, all your conversations, so it's just like if you had to remember something, it's just there, and you instantly remember every fact and everything that happened.
But you want it on a spinning disc and not on SSD?
I guess, sure, I'll have that.
I feel like that would lead to headaches
Probably.
a lot.
Just like be full of too much information. And
Yeah, because there's this thing, was it 8% or 10% of your brain only ever gets used?
What is that stat? I've heard that my entire life. What does that mean?
I don't know if
I
that's
don't
true.
know.
Is it true?
I feel like
I mean, I feel like it has to be, with all of the information that we take in, and yet for some reason we can only access a certain part. It goes back to the whole memory thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a phenomenon where you're like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but if you could access more, you'd be able to be like, oh, well, you know, I was there.
Some people do have that though. Some people are great at remembering details like that.
I
Or
feel like the ability
conversations.
to purge garbage would be nice to make new room for.
Or like embarrassing moments that you could just like forget and not relive 1,000 times in
Or
your
that.
brain. And
But then
turn
everybody
into-
else would still remember them, and they'd just be like, hey, remember that time we did this?
and you don't
Remind me.
know.
Like, what?
Be like, you're lying. You're a liar.
They just go, oh, I guess I am. What about you guys?
I was thinking about this last night, yesterday, before I actually saw this because I was getting a manicure. I didn't get any polish because I needed to leave my nails alone for a little bit.
They're
But,
beautiful.
thank you. They were doing my nails, and I was like, wow, I really wish I had a third arm right now to look at my phone.
Oh. Honestly, having a
that's a good
third
one.
arm could be very useful.
Yeah, but not for that, Barbara. I said that to my head, and I was like, haha, and I was like, oh, I think I'm addicted to my phone.
Yeah.
Would you have it all the time?
No,
Or
it'd
would
be retractable. I
So
don't know
you
where
could
it'd
still
come
do
out of.
stuff like.
It would like fold into your back.
Yeah, it would just like pop out.
Otherwise, how would you do like the YMCA and stuff? You'd have like an extra.
It'd be a WCA.
I feel like having a third arm would be better than having a third leg. I feel like a third leg would kind of just get in the way.
Think about how
it'd be hard to
fast you could run, though.
Could you?
With 3
No,
legs?
maybe
You
not.
could jump a third higher.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Well, if you got one leg, surely you can jump half as high.
What?
What?
What? Literally what?
Can you jump the same?
Oh, so you're saying the power that you get from
Yeah.
your legs would allow you to...
Oh.
Yeah.
That-
Is that not right? I feel like I can
feel
jump
like- I
higher
don't
with
know
2
that
legs
it's-
because I got 2 and not 1.
I don't know if it's proportionate to like a third, but I guess that kind of makes sense.
makes
If
sense.
you have more muscle on your
Yeah.
But
leg.
you'd have to. Can you imagine like how you would have to squat with 3 legs to jump?
I'm trying to think of what you would look like a tripod.
I drew myself
Lit-
with 3 legs when I was drawing at one of the booths this weekend. Someone was like, "Draw the always open set," and of course I did fucking terribly.
Uh-huh.
And I drew you looking very cute, and I gave myself 3 legs.
Just true to life.
You'd
Maybe
be
it
like
was-
the villain from War of the Worlds.
I knew it was coming up.
I've never
The
seen
big
that movie.
things.
Aren't they like tripods?
Oh,
Don't they
yeah,
have
yeah.
3 legs?
Oh.
They're
roaming
massive. Though.
around?
I feel like the legs, the fact that they're like 19 stories high is like the thing to mention on them.
The legs.
Well, I mean, my third leg would be like, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you would be able to extend it. Obviously, I felt like that was
Telescopic leg.
obvious.
Well,
Yeah.
do you think if you had a tail, that could serve as like an extra arm and an extra leg in a way?
Yes.
So the tail
But
would
yeah,
kinda
but
solve.
you don't have like the dexterity of using fingers.
What about
I want
tail
with
Maybe you
a
do.
hand.
Yeah,
This
tail,
is-
Tail
this
with
is-
a hand.
This is open for anything you want to do.
tail with a hand.
Just comes up like out of my ass.
Yeah.
This sounds kind of silly, but it'd be cool to have like an interface on your wrist, kind of like a smartwatch, but
Yeah.
that you can turn on whenever, and it never runs out of battery. Because I feel like I'm constantly, I've only got like 15% left. I need to find a, charging station or something.
Don't
But
they have
to be constantly
Apple
in
Watches?
communication with people. Yeah, but they run out of battery as well.
That's true.
So you just want to watch?
That doesn't run out of battery.
For movement. 50% off. With free shipping.
You brought it back.
I don't know. There's also stuff like I wish teeth weren't so fragile and like
Oh, like multiple sets.
yeah, like you would just like your teeth would renew every couple of years. They just
They,
like
like, grow
pop
back.
out and grow back in.
I have a friend that has that actually. She can't stop growing teeth.
That's wicked.
She's had 9 extra teeth in her life.
Like what happens? Does one fall out and then the other one grows
have, like,
in?
too much
Are you
calcium?
fucking with us?
No, I'm not fucking with. I'm thinking of the story on how I learned she had too much teeth. She was,
Too much.
She swam in a radioactive lake.
yeah.
It's popping out of her cheeks and everything.
She was in. She was like. She's a therapist, and when she was in school for that, she I had like one of her first class days, and the professor was like, "All right, like, everyone, icebreaker, like go around the room and give everyone like a fun fact about yourself." And so she was like, "Shit, well, I guess I'm just like the girl with the teeth. I don't know. I guess that's my fun fact." And she said that the girl before her was this like beautiful model who was like, "Hi, like I'm so and so. Like when I was like 10, I became a model. I'm like the face of the American Girl doll. Like
Holy shit.
like that's if you look at her
She's
face,
like, I got 9 extra teeth.
Why did she sound like that? Why have you decided that that's what she sounds like?
that's what she had to follow up with. She was just like, yeah, this is who I am, and I don't know, I've got extra teeth. I've had 9 of them. And everyone was like, okay.
Nice.
So, anyway.
But each tooth has a name, depending on where it is, and
Like the molar.
yes, and like incisor and all that. What are they called? The extra
Canine.
ones? Just extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, extras.
Bonus.
Extra
Extra
1,
number
extra 2.
Read all about it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Extra. All right.
That'd be annoying for wisdom teeth if they came back.
Oh yeah.
It would. And you have to get them removed
Take 'em
again.
out.
It's so funny seeing people who get their wisdom teeth removed and have such horrible
Yeah,
experiences.
you were eating like
should
steak.
should I talk about my friend who had his
Oh, fuck.
his
If
wisdom
you'd like
teeth
to, yeah.
issue?
He actually was,
He was-
interning at Rooster
he
Teeth.
interned
I
here,
still
right?
can't believe that happened to him.
Yeah, he had his wisdom teeth taken out, and his after the fact, I was actually with him in Houston, and then after the fact, a few days later, it got infected.
Well, he didn't do it properly, right?
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. And so his thing got infected, and then I'm sorry.
I'll just sit here.
I'm gonna come across as such a dick in this thing. Oh,
Well, you're
God.
British.
Yeah, well,
fine, you're British.
just can't get away from it. And then he went back to Austin. He started interning with you guys, and the infection got so bad that he had to go back and clean up and stuff. And then like one day he walked outside and he fell over, like he just tripped and hit like the side of his head on the pavement. And he got up and he was fine. He's a pretty fit guy. He's pretty resilient. And then he went into work, and then suddenly like he stopped having feeling in his right arm, and he like started breaking down. He was like, I have to go to the hospital and everything. And
God.
And he went, and the doctor was like, so basically the guy, the wisdom teeth guy who took his teeth out, instead of taking like 45 minutes to do it, he accidentally hit a nerve, and so he had to drill it into his nasal cavity, and so he kept him under. You okay?
Yeah. So people are reacting.
It kept him under anesthesia for like 4 hours, in order to like basically sort the nerve out and get it all proper again. And so I think what happened was, maybe I'm wrong. We should call the doctor in on this if we got a line. Basically, the drill, like the hole that had been created hadn't healed yet, and so the doctor basically said if you had fallen on the other side of your head, you probably would have been killed.
Jeez.
You probably would have died because of like the instability. And so he had to go through multiple operations. He was bedridden for weeks.
Holy shit! I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah, I mean, he stopped his internship here.
Yeah.
He goes to UT, and he had to defer for another year.
Take the whole year off, right?
Yeah, so he's essentially lost a year in terms of like
gosh.
progression with his school because of what had happened. And it was such a shame because he obviously loved being here. And
Yeah. Well, I think we're different.
I remember that day. I remember when he came into the office. and
Yeah.
He was talking to one of the other interns and was like, "Hey, who should I talk to about leaving? I need to go back to Houston and get my mouth checked out." And I was in there talking to Hannah. And she was like, "I guess go and ask Hannah." And he was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm having an issue with my mouth. I just got my wisdom teeth taken out." And then Hannah was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like, what are
like,
you doing? Like, you don't have to ask." I had no idea it was that serious.
It was
That's
bad,
insane.
Yeah, it was really bad. And it took him months to properly recover. He really had to stop everything. And even now, like, again, we were at bloody RTX the other day, and he has to wear these special glasses that don't let in blue light, because now every time he looks at a screen, he gets a headache because of the concussion that he got.
God, so much stuff from just like a nothing operation.
Yeah. And
Well, from a
the
doctor who was
worst,
clearly not qualified.
yeah,
or-
the worst part. You should do it.
I mean, I don't. Continue on.
Yeah, they brought him in as like a third party because I guess they didn't want enough staff at one of the appointments, so brought him in and he fucked up, and then they figured out that he wasn't. So obviously they're suing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Good.
I
For
just
it.
thought he was like a shitty doctor. I didn't know it was like an actual
He 100% was not supposed to be doing it.
woof. Yeah, so do your research, peeps, before you
What
get your teeth
twat.
pulled out.
Seriously.
Especially any surgery.
Such a shame. Yeah.
Well, I hope he's doing okay now.
He's fantastic. Oh, well, that's the great part is he's doing better than ever. He's back here now. He's raring to go, and
Good.
And I think like if there's anything positive to take out of the situation is that sometimes having a near-death situation or like a life-altering situation can really give you a lot of perspective about about life and about making the most of it. And he's started to do things that he never would have done beforehand, and they're all positive things.
Good.
So
Well, he's a great dude.
yeah, he's awesome. He's great.
Good kid. I'm looking forward to having him back here to do another internship and hopefully not fall on either side of his head or get any more teeth out. So before we move on to our last segment, I'm going to thank Fleur for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. Finding the right fragrance is kind of like falling in love. There's the initial whiff of attraction. Then as time goes on, you discover these additional layers and you realize this is the one for me. But sometimes finding the perfect perfume isn't always so wonderful. That's why we're here to tell you about a company that's bringing the feeling back into fragrance, Fleur. With Fleur, there's no testing on a strip of paper or worse, being ambushed in a busy department store. You could get to know each of Fleur's scents with pictures, words, and music on their site. If you like what you hear and see, odds are you'll like the scent. Then, when you could actually try them on your own skin in your own place and pace. Fleur scents are created by world-class perfumers and are inspired by real moments for your real life. And because all that matters is what you like, their scents are gender-free. We love Fleur. Both Mara and I got some sample packs from Fleur.
Did. And they're actually based here in Austin, which is really, really cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I ended up getting one, I think it was called Hanami.
Hanami, yeah.
It's like very floral. But the cool thing is when they send you the pack, they send you the 3 samples, then there's like an insert card for each scent, and it tells you exactly like, you know, the kind of the inspiration behind it. But then the thing that I liked the most was that like, it was like, oh, when you first, like hour 1 of putting this on, this is kind of like the scent that you get.
Yeah.
Like, 3 hours in, this is what it'll smell like.
It like evolves.
Yeah, and so it's almost like you get like all sorts of different scents in just one scent, which is really cool.
Exactly.
And it really is like kind of true to that. I remember when I first put it on, it was like very floral and bright, and then as you know, kind of as time goes on,
It makes a lot of sense.
all right, just finish reading the copy.
All right, well, please be a sponsor still. Go to Fleur.com today and use promo code OPEN to get 20% off your custom Fleur sample set. Pick 3 scents to try and get credit towards a full-size bottle of your favorite. That's promo code OPEN at phlur.com to try 3 Fleur fragrances of your choice at 20% off. Fleur.com. Thanks, Fleur. And that catchphrase is free to use. Just go for it. No charge.
What'd you say?
It makes a lot of sense. All right, well, we're going to finish things up with our hotline question that we have. I believe it's a question about what to do on a second date, but let's listen in.
Hi. So my question is, I recently went on a date with a girl, and I want to go on a second date, but so far our schedules are very off to where it's hard to find something to do for a long amount of time. So I was wondering, what is a good second date that doesn't take a lot of time, is still memorable, and isn't just going out to eat and talk?
Mini golf.
That's what I was thinking.
Mini golf
I
is
literally
great.
said Peter Pan Putt Putt.
Yeah, which is a local place here in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, something fun like that, like an activity where it's not like a movie where you're just both staring at a screen in a dark room. Because whenever people go on movie dates, I'm always just like, you can't
You don't talk for 2 hours.
talk to
And
me.
then you go, that was cool. All right, see you later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you ask how the movie was, and then they hate it, and you loved it, and then you hate them.
I mean,
I feel like with a bit of putt-putt, you learn a lot about how competitive the other person is. And if you're shit at mini golf, it doesn't really matter because it's tiny golf. It's stupid.
And you still get like to have some sort of physical interaction too.
Yeah.
Because you're still like next to each other, you're playing, you could kind of like, you know, still interact physically without being in separate places doing an activity together.
yeah, I feel like doing anything physical, like a physical activity, is great as well. Like here in Austin, you can go kayaking on the lake,
Yeah.
which is also a river, but you guys call it a lake.
Listen, don't offend Austin.
I'm not
Fight you.
I'm not offending it. It's just a fact, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
Which I love.
They
Like
call
I've done it.
Ladybird Lake.
Yeah, Ladybird Lake. I've done it and it's fantastic. I mean, that would be really cool to sort of do something physical where you have like a clear like goal in mind and you sort of, you know, chill and
I feel like for a second date though, that because I wouldn't want the person to think I'm going to try and murder them, and it's a bit sort of 2 people in a dangerous situation. Like I feel like
That's
it's enough
not dangerous.
trust. I
mean, you really have to test the waters.
Get off my show.
No, but you do. I mean, I feel like maybe the first date's a bit more conservative, and the second one you go, all right, well, let's see, you know,
Yeah.
You wanna see something fun.
what you're really about.
Yeah, on a first date, that's when you tend to like meet the person, learn they're not a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then like once you get comfortable with them, you're like, cool, let's go on a second date. And I feel like that is when you could have fun. That is like when you could go kayaking or play mini golf or something like that.
Also, maybe doing like a team building exercise might be really interesting. Like doing a Why is that funny?
I'm just imagining people like
So your
trust
second
falling.
date is a corporate retreat where
No, like maybe like an escape room or something.
Oh,
or like
yeah.
something.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Fun.
Like something cool where you like, okay, well we're in a team and we have to work together to
be
like solve an
nervous.
issue. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like
I'd
that.
be nervous about an escape room on a second date just because I feel like, especially if you don't know someone too well, you don't know how to interact with someone in like that kind of like, all right, some person has to like lead this, especially in escape rooms where like, it tends to be like one person becomes kind of like the leader of like managing all the things that are going on.
But it's a good way to find out. I think at some point you have to figure out, you know, okay, where do I stand and where does this other person stand? And that's a great litmus test because you might find as a result of that might not be the person for you.
It's also
or
a
it's
good
like,
way to find out if they're dumb or not.
that's true.
But some
feel
people
like-
get nervous and they like clam up.
It's like, all right, to solve this next clue, we have to do what's 2 + 4?
Have you clammed up in an escape room?
No, I have dated people who have said like stuff like that was like their worst nightmare. Like, don't
I
make me
love
do
it.
this.
I feel
definitely
Oh,
like
I love
for
it.
everyone.
I had so much fun last
it should
night.
be somewhere where you can, if you want to be funny, you could be like flirty and make jokes. And I feel like putt-putt or a
Yeah.
escape room would be kind of cool. You can like make fun of it.
Yeah.
What about like going to see like a comedy show or an improv show with them?
I feel like it's just like watching a movie.
I think it's a little bit better
I think it's a
though, 'cause you
little
could-
more social. Like you go to
Still
the
more
bar
social.
beforehand, maybe get a bite to eat afterwards. But
It's
like
always
there's
fun to laugh
still an
together.
event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can also figure out their sense of humor, I guess.
They're just sitting there.
If they're like,
quietly.
yeah, if they're not laughing at all, it's like, all right, I gotta go.
And well, the nice thing about that too is that they only last for so long.
Yeah.
So like you can, if it's not going well, you can get out of it. Like an improv show is what, an hour?
Not
If that.
even
Comedy
sometimes.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
You get there and you're like, oh, this person didn't laugh at this obviously very funny joke. Get the fuck out.
Even. Yeah.
Oh, the joke's over. I mean,
And then go get like food at a 24 diner before.
Or play
Or
mini golf.
after. Or play mini golf. Yeah. I think something, they have one here in Austin, but like a board game bar. Or
Oh
what-
yeah,
I don't
That's
know
cool.
what they're called.
what's it called?
I forget what it's
can't
called.
remember.
But there's a lot in different cities where you basically like they have games there, or you could bring your own and basically just play at a table, get food and drinks and stuff. And that's like a good way to be doing something like fun and active and entertaining, but also like you still have the comfort of having
Yeah.
drinks and food.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, and I
like-
guess it's not as forward and intimate as like come to my house and play a board game.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's like still social. Yeah, I think that's good.
Do you think that it's like too early on in the process to do a group thing with a couple, like maybe invite them over with a few friends and do like more of a group activity to show sort of what you're like with other people?
I think it's a little too early.
Also depends. Like if it was
it
like
depends on-
someone who was already a friend or someone that you already knew, probably not. But if it's someone that you just met and you're like, hey, second time we're seeing each other, come on
Yeah.
over to my house.
I
I,
think
have friends that are coming. I
Personally, it
promise.
feels a little like too much pressure for me for a second date of just like, I want you to meet my friends. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I barely know you yet.
What about meeting their parents?
second date. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
What about getting married?
What about turning on their fertility switch? What about that one right there?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what happened on this first date. Like did they get knocked up?
Well, that's what I'm also curious about. He didn't really mention anything about how the first date went or like what they did on that one, because that's also determining like if they went out for drinks. Then.
Yeah, also it kind of sounded like he was sort of talking about there was an issue with scheduling.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that regard, sometimes it's better. I mean, everyone is busy at some point or another, and
Sure.
some people are way busier than others. But it's definitely, if you want something enough, there is a way to make time. So I feel like if there's something that you really want to do, you should make it clear and say like, right, I'd love to do this. These are the times that I can do it. Take it or leave it, kind of thing.
Sure.
Because otherwise it can be like a back and forth that sort of never ends, and then it just sort of dissipates, and then that moment of magic from the first
Well, if
date
you
is
really want a memorable experience, I think you should commit a crime together.
Well, like, yeah, like maybe you should, if you really want to have a memorable experience, like be like, hey, like tonight we're gonna rob a bank, and then you know you get caught and you get put in prison. I feel like they would never forget that.
It's true. That would be
You just end up-
unforgettable. Then what if they're put in the jail cell next to you? Then you could be dating forever.
Or I mean, your mugshots can serve as like a nice little like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like oh.
Put
Like
that
a
in-
souvenir.
Little souvenir.
It's like
it's the first
Universal
picture of it.
Studios, except you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. So just do that.
Mugshots, are they free?
Probably, I don't know, Gavin. I've never been arrested.
What is like the lowest crime you could commit to get a mugshot? Like, because it's
mean, you
only
have
if
to
you're
get arrested.
It's only if you're arrested.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, you could do like a pretty
you have to-
white collar crime. You could do,
Homicide.
Like stealing a T-shirt from a department store or something like that.
tax evasion or something where no one gets hurt apart from the man.
Hey baby, we're gonna evade some taxes.
Yeah. She's like, oh wow,
Yeah, I
let me
don't
turn
know.
my switch on.
Misdemeanor.
All right, well, good luck to, I don't know
Yeah,
if you like his name.
don't commit a crime,
Don't
please.
commit crimes, but I think the consensus is something fun and active that you could
Yeah.
putt, something that you could do during the
Dave
day,
and Buster's.
maybe during the weekend. Oh yeah, like an arcade might be fun too.
Arcade is good, I think, but it's pretty all in on, hey, I'm a nerd, I hope you are as well.
It's not for everyone.
Because I would love that, but
I wonder if it puts certain people off.
yeah.
I don't know,
I feel like it might.
Well,
Arcades
like
to me-
something like like something like pinballs, maybe.
because that's just like pinball machines.
Well,
and,
and
like,
there's
some
other stuff,
arcade
but,
games.
but like a big Dave and Buster's, you have all sorts of things
Bowling.
made of
Bowling.
I disagree.
You don't like bowling?
I think bowling is shit, and I'm really bad at it, and I don't think anyone would want a third date if
Gavin,
they watched
this
me
isn't
do
an
bowling.
attack on you, mate.
Look,
Okay.
I feel like bowling, I don't know.
You're great at bowling. You are on a show for bowling.
What happened? Who beat you?
I like
At bowling.
9,000 gutter balls is
He
what
went on a
happened to me,
date.
Robbie.
He went on a bowling date once, and the girl was so embarrassed to be seen
She
with
bowled a
him.
300, and
She was
Wow.
with him.
is it 300? I
I
don't
have
even
no
know.
fucking idea.
I think it is, yeah.
And her name is Meg Turney. See, it worked.
Professional bowler.
Yeah.
I
I
love
know. I
bowling.
think bowling is great. Or like Top Golf. We have Top Golf here, which is I tried for the first time recently, and it was so great.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at golf, but the Top Golf makes me feel just a little bit better
Just
about myself.
whacking
Because even
shit.
if you scuff it, it goes in a hole, and it's like, you got 2 points.
Exactly. 2 points out of 100. Woo. But yeah. Well, cool. Well, good luck to you, sir. I don't think we got his name, but yeah, just some ideas for a second date. Hope it goes well.
Yeah, keep us updated. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you need ideas for a third date, we're all out. Sorry.
Yeah. That's it. That's where
Get
our
married.
knowledge stops.
I mean, you're just kind of dating at that point, right?
Yeah.
I
Third
think so.
date. It's like,
I think third or fourth date is a good time where you could introduce the friends.
But again, everybody's different. I don't think there's a set rule. I mean, people might have an amazing first date and be like, right, that's it, you know?
That's it,
And then
yeah.
you're in. And then other people, it takes a long time and we're more apprehensive about it. That's
Yeah,
okay.
Like 20, 30, 40 dates, you know. Trevor still hasn't met you guys. So.
I know. I don't.
Who?
All right, well, lads, thanks for so much for being on the show today. Meryl, as always,
Barbara.
my co-host.
Thanks for having
Thanks for
us.
You guys were wonderful and not mean at all, despite being English.
it was cheeky,
Strong
hopefully not too mean.
And go see Bloodfest this
Yay.
August. We have a one-night-only screening, August 14th in the U.S. and then August 17th
In the UK.
in the U.K.
Are you going to that?
I might try to hit some up in the U.S. Not Canada. Probably can't
Yeah.
make it over there.
And I
but
think-
plenty
If it's
in
one
Canada, too.
night,
One night.
how are you going to get to some?
Maybe I'll hit one up. Good point. But August, at the end of August, it'll be available for digital download and also in select
in
theaters.
select theatres, yeah.
And then
So please, yeah, go watch it if you can.
and bring some friends.
be fun.
It's a great fun movie to watch with friends. It's a great popcorn flick.
If you have
You
a
know, it'd be a
second
great
date,
second date.
There you go. Wait until
Damn it, you beat me to it.
All right. Well, cheers, guys. Thanks so
Cheers,
much
guys.
for
Thank you.
being here.
cheers to that.
Cheers, 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 cheers.
Can we get the bill, please?
They call it a check.